All right, Hamilton Burlington area housing market sees inventories rise as sales ease, prices soften in July, offsetting earlier gains. Welcome to your July 2024 Hamilton market update. All right, so this is coming at you direct from our board, the now named Cornerstone Association of Realtors. Hamilton, Ontario, August 1, 2024. So in July, a total of 804 homes were sold in the Hamilton Burlington area, contributing to a year-to-date decline of 6%, while year-to-date sales declined across the entire Hamilton Burlington market area. Niagara North July levels were comparable to the same time last year. So our board covers Hamilton and Burlington, with a little bit of data there from North Niagara as well. So that would be like Grimsby area as well. So this marks the third consecutive year that sales have remained below long-term trends. At the same time, we are experiencing a gain in new listings while rates are slowly coming down. For some existing property owners, the prospect of higher renewal rates is enough to cause them to list their properties, driving up supply levels. Now, I would comment on that a little bit. That isn't the only reason why people are listing. It's not just the looming renewal, and a lot of these renewals aren't coming due till 2025, 2026, a couple years out. If we're seeing rates getting cut right now, it stands to reason that maybe that renewal bubble will not be as large as people think. A lot of folks are thinking of, short to medium term declines in prices. They want to get their cash out now, have all their money in one place and figure out what to do later. So it's not just the renewal that are driving people to list. They don't really trust the market, at least that's what we're hearing from our sellers. They want to have the flexibility of having their cash on hand to seize on opportunities in other markets as well. So now this is interesting as well. New listings in July rose relative to sales activity, causing the sales to new listings ratio to ease to 42%. Inventory levels are similar to last month and higher than last year. So we all know that months of inventory is my favorite stat. Months of inventory pushed above 4 months of inventory. The months of supply has not risen above 4 months of inventory in July. So that's the qualifier, in July since 2010. So typically for the last couple of years, at least the last 10 years in Hamilton, 2015 to now, we're kind of hovering around that, it seems like the normal market for Hamilton is around that high 2, low 3s months of inventory, like borderline seller but balanced market. Now we're pushing into like a full-on balanced market. But as I've talked about before, it really depends on the neighborhood that you're in and the type of house that you're in. The micro markets within any macro market are going to be different. Some products are always going to be a seller's market price and seller's market demand. Some are always going to be a buyer's market demand. So more supply choice has continued to place downward pressure on home prices this month. The unadjusted benchmark price was $843,500, nearly 1% lower than June and 3% lower than last July. While prices are below the 2022 peak, they are still at higher levels reported prior to the pandemic. So we mentioned this in a previous video, the rate cut trend, it's not putting more liquidity into the marketplace for people to buy and sell, take on more debt. It's helping people manage the debt that they already have. And the buyers that we're working with and the buyers that we're talking to and anecdotally throughout the market, people are out there. They are qualified to purchase something, but they're being very, very patient. They're seeing more inventory come on the market and they're saying, hey, you know what? It seems like I actually have some choice now. I don't have to jump into the market, purchase the first thing that I see. I can wait a little bit, maybe get that extra bedroom, maybe have something with a little more renovation. Maybe I can get something with a finished basement or wait till something, more affordable in a more premium neighborhood comes up. So buyers are waiting, and I do expect that we're going to see an increase of listings after the long weekend. Now, I thought it would be interesting to go back to actually look 5 years at average sales prices, specifically in July, because that comment from the board regarding 4 months of inventory in July really stood out. So we're going to go back to average sales prices, not benchmark prices, just for ease. So 5 years ago in July 2019, there was 2 months of inventory with an average sales price of $547,000. Now, fast forward again, and this is just Hamilton residential, to July 2024, we have 4 months of inventory, so double the amount of supply, with an average sales price of $789,000. So that's about a 44% increase in housing prices, 44%, or about 8.8% per year. So that is obviously, a fairly good return on investment, and that stands with the kind of old adage that housing prices typically double every 10 years. So we're getting back to that long-term average with housing prices. So what does this mean for everybody? I do not think that the rate cuts that are going on are going to help spur like a massive rebound in the housing market. If anything, we'll be getting back to a long-term average, and people are managing their debt and their payments now. Obviously, people are going to make their mortgage payments. I don't think we're going to see a lot of panic listings. I don't think we're going to see a huge house price. Will we see more supply and more balance in the market? Yes, but folks are not going to be using their houses as bank accounts anymore to do big renovations, buy jet skis, buy cottages, buy income properties, that kind of thing. They're just like, you know what, let's just cool down for a little bit, maybe refinance at a lower mortgage rate, maybe get things under control, recover a little bit, and then see. Now, there are opportunities here. So if you're a buyer, yes, things are a little bit cheaper than they were the last couple of years. Make sure that you're talking to a mortgage professional about this, because qualifying is, as always, difficult and the most challenging. For sellers, you got to be priced exactly right on the money. Typically, the strategy of being 2 to 5% below where you're falling at a market value is a great way to generate interest in your home. And anybody who's out looking at houses right now is serious. Nobody is dabbling. People are demoralized from not being able to afford it and now not being able to qualify. So anybody out looking is serious, and it's a good thing. There's a lot more negotiations going on. Things are taking a little bit longer. Sellers are willing to give a little bit more. Buyers are willing to, pay a price. We're not seeing as much egregious lowballing anymore. But they're saying, hey, you know what? I do really like your house, but the furnace is completely rusted out. We need to talk about that. Can we come to an agreement? So those kind of conversations are happening, which is good for both buyers and sellers. So as always, if you have any questions about your current real estate situation, never hurts to reach out. This is a great time to get a market evaluation the last 2 weeks of August. Everybody is on vacation, and there's a lot of folks sitting on the sidelines waiting for the right opportunity, and knowing what your home is worth can help you act on that when it comes up. So any questions, you know how to reach us, and we will see you next time.